Welcome to this KDE Tips and Tricks screencast. And in this screencast I want to show you how you can set your default applications in KDE. So for example, you have a console window open which has a nice feature. If you hover over a link to a HTTP website or HTTPS website, it gets hovered and you have the option with the right click menu to choose open link. So this will open up the default web browser and will go directly to the web page. But what if you don't like the Chromium web browser? In this case you want another web browser as your default web browser, not only for the console application if you right click on links, but also for your everyday work on the desktop if you click an HTML file or if you click a link in your email client and so on. So if you want to set your new default web browser application, you can do so by just going to your system settings and choosing default applications here, and here you see a list of default applications that you can set, and the one that I want to set now is the web browser. I click on this, and as you can see here, normally maybe if you have already some browsers installed, you get a list of browsers that are detected by KDE automatically, so you can just click here of one of the option box to choose this web browser. In my case the Chrome web browser did not show up, so I had to give the command to the web browser here to start the web browser. But what you can do here also, if you don't get the list of the browsers, is in an application based on the contents of the URL. So you can check this one here, and this is very handy because if you check this one, apply here, let me show you this. Let me go to my home directory and I have a HTML file here. So if I want to open this HTML file, you can associate a web browser to it just by right clicking, go to properties, go to configure here, and for the HTML document you can associate a web browser here, just like for example Conqueror is associated now with the HTML file. So this is the primary web browser that gets started when I click on my HTML file. I can show you this, just a click here and it will open up in Conqueror. If I want to set it to a different browser, just like for example Reconq, I just move it up here, hit apply again, and this will then be the default web browser for HTML files. And the interesting thing is, in the default application settings, it will take this association that you gave for the HTML file or the HTML file, if you have some HTML files or whatever, PHP file or something like this, and it will then go to the MIME type database and will pick the application that you have set there for the appropriate file format, and it will then open up this web browser. So let me now I have just set Reconq to my HTML files. Now let me just open up this link here and it should open up with Reconq. As you can see, it works perfectly. So this is how you can set up your default applications, and this does not only work or apply for your web browser, but as you can see here in the list, you have also some other options. Just for example, the email client. If you want to set an email client, you can also set it here. And notice, for all your hackers and all your gurus that like to work in the terminal, you have also the option to choose a terminal application here just by clicking run in terminal. So this application will then be run in terminal. So if you like Mud or Pine or how they are called, you can just enter them here and use them as your default mail client, and all the mail links, so if you have a mail to link or something like this, will then be opened up in this email client. The good and convenient thing about this is that this does not change the global configuration that you might have on your computer, especially if you're working with many different users on your computer. This will only change the default behavior, the default application for this particular user that is currently logged in. You can also change some other things that are very, very cool. I'm not quite sure if that options are also available in previous versions, previously to KDE 4.7. but at least in 4.8 and 4.7 they are here. Just like, for example, the embedded text editor, you can choose here which component to use. The file manager you can even choose. As you can see, I have now a default component list, and it also detected some of the file managers that are already available, just like Dolphin as the default. But if you like Conqueror more, if you're coming from the KDE 3.4 cycle, most likely you like Conqueror a little bit more, you can choose Conqueror here. You can choose another file manager, just like filemanager here, which is in my case PCMan FM. You can choose an instant messenger, so if you don't like Copete, you want Pigeon or something like this, you can change this here. You can change even the terminal emulator. If you don't like console, you can use an Xterm or A-term or whatever you like. And you can even change the window manager, which is very, very cool. So if you don't like the KWin window manager with all its effects and so on, you want lightweight window manager, or you just simply are used to OpenBox or something like this, you can choose another window manager. And as you can see, I have OpenBox installed here. If I had any other window managers, just like i3m or something like this, I even have the option to configure this window manager and the theming and the behavior of this window manager if I want to. And I can set every window manager in here that I want. Even Compass I can set up here. So if you want to like run KDE 4 even with Compass, you can simply change the default window manager to Compass, and this will most likely also work. So this is basically everything for this screencast. I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.